Hey everyone, it's Meredith here at Ken's. Today I'm going to be making roasted potatoes in our air fry feature in our GE wall oven. A couple months ago, GE rolled out the air fry feature in their wall ovens and their freestanding ranges as well as their slide-in ranges. We have a couple of those on hand for you to come in and look at. And we also have it live here in our monogram wall oven, so we are going to play with the air fry feature. I chose to make roasted potatoes in the air fry because air fry is super healthy and it's super easy. So when I think about cooking a Thanksgiving Day meal, it's kind of overwhelming, so I wanted to pick a nice simple dish that will turn out really delicious and really pretty. So I bought these little baby potatoes. There are a couple different kinds. They have the reds and then the Yukon Golds. And we're just gonna do a super easy, cut them in half. It's not rocket science, you just cut them in half in whichever way you would like. There are a couple different sizes of these. I picked the smaller ones so they would cook a little faster because, again, ease of use. I have canola oil here, and again, it's not rocket science. You pour it over it until they're coated. So we're just gonna pour it over here. So I'm just gonna get those all coated there. Alrighty, and we're gonna transfer this into a bigger bowl just so it's easier to toss. And I wanted to share with everyone, this is my go-to herb when I'm roasting either chicken or vegetables. It's called Herbe de Provence. It has a bunch of different mix of herbs in there. So it is rosemary, garlic, lavender, thyme, parsley, tarragon, marjoram, basil, sage. So it's just a very savory, flavorful, it smells fantastic too. So I have some of that. We're just gonna pour it over, and good old salt and pepper. And I think add more salt and more pepper than you think you need because it's pretty hard to over season things. All right, so again, I'm just gonna use my hands, get them all coated in there. That smells so good. So now I just have a normal cookie sheet. You can get an actual air fry pan, but I had this cookie cooling rack that is coated, so it's oven safe. So the reason we want to put this on here is because with air fry, we want the most air to be able to move around the food as possible. So if we were to put the potatoes on here, that's not going to have as much airflow as getting them up off of that cookie sheet. So super easy. We're just going to pour it on there. And then it doesn't matter how we have them arranged, but we want them in kind of a single layer and kind of dispersed so that air can just really get around there. And then a super hack that I've used to cook lots of things, I put this in the oven when I'm baking chicken breast or pork chops, is just some fresh herbs. You can do rosemary or sage. I like rosemary, especially for Thanksgiving. It's nice and savory. And so we're not gonna do anything with this other than literally putting it on the rack. So it's a nice, fresh, aromatic herb. And on a special meal like Thanksgiving, it's okay to spend a little bit more on something fancy like this. Again, it's super easy. All you do is put it on there and it's really gonna deliver some flavor. With GE Air Fry, again, it's in our monogram wall oven that we're gonna play with. It's also in our freestanding and slide-in ranges. I will put a link to those products on our website in the comments of this video. GE already had a fantastic convection baking system. So with that true European convection, it uses the bake element, the broil element. There's a fan in the back that moves the air. That true European convection, that fan moves both ways. There's also an additional element in the back there that delivers heat from the back. So it already, GE Convection Bake already had that awesome airflow. They just really put more power behind it. So it's an additional blower fan that really creates that good air fry feature. And if you take a look at my kitchen at home, I have an air fryer sitting on my countertop. So if I were to get a GE air fry range, I would be able to get rid of that clunky countertop appliance. So we're very excited to have GE air fry as a part of our lineup. And so let's go put it in. So on our super easy UI, we're gonna go to more, air fry, and we wanna set this for 400. And there's no preheat needed for air fry. So we're just gonna put this right in here. And we wanna turn the light on so it's easy to see. So that fan will start moving and it'll really get going here. So not only does air fry let us take that air fryer off our countertop, it also cuts down on our cooking time. So this is only gonna take 20 to 25 minutes depending on how crunchy you want those potatoes. And also there's no preheat, so it just gets right to work at that 400 degrees. One of my favorite Thanksgiving memories is just getting together with our whole family. We are blessed in our family to all live in the same town. We all kind of have our go-to dishes when it comes to bringing things to the family meal. Grandpa, Ken, who started this store back in 1962, his task every year was to make this massive pan of stuffing. And so he would start saving bread, maybe like the ends that nobody wanted, and save those and get them nice and dried out. He would have this like perfect mix of spices that only he knew what it was. Over time, Grandma kind of got to know the spice mix. There's lots of sage in there, I do know that. So he would put chicken stock and this dried bread, and every year he was very proud to present this huge, massive thing of homemade stuffing. None of that out of the box. Grandpa made it from scratch. And so these past couple years that he hasn't been with us, it's been me and Mom and Gail's task to make said stuffing. It just isn't the same. So we miss him. There's definitely a seat missing at the table every year. I'm gonna use the full extension ball bearing racks here. We're gonna put these up here and we're just gonna give them a little turn. I'm just gonna take these off so we don't break them and make a mess. And so we're just gonna give them a quick, so they have the opportunity to really get browned on all sides. So this one's really starting to brown. You can see this, they kind of start to bubble a little bit, which is great. The bigger the potatoes you buy, the longer they're gonna have to roast. So, and you can do multiple batches of these. So we'll put our rosemary back on and we'll go back in. So our potatoes are done. They got that golden brown crisp on them. So now another super important thing to focus on for Thanksgiving is plating. You can make a decent dish on an awesome plate and it looks that much better. So nothing crazy fancy here, just a cool looking bowl. And then to finish it off, we're gonna put some fresh salt on it. And there we go. So again, to recap, 20-25 minutes. I did closer to 25 just because I wanted that extra crispy. The bigger the potato, the longer it's gonna take. We used the GE air fry today. It really got that good airflow. We made sure we had a cookie sheet with a rack on it to again create that airflow. Happy Thanksgiving from everyone here at Ken's.
It's hot, but very, very good.
Salt, pepper, canola oil, and rosemary on top. And they're air fried. 20 minutes in the air fry.
I think that one of the things that I've loved most about Thanksgiving is just getting together with my whole family and spend it together. My favorite Thanksgiving was 11 years ago when I gave birth to my son. So that was a pretty amazing Thanksgiving, to be honest with you.
This might be hot.
We'll see you guys.
What do you think?
Good. Good. What's it called?
Just air fried roasted potatoes.
Oh, they're air fried. Wow.
20 minutes in the GE air fry.
That's worth having.